Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extracurricular Activities. Now these videos are not scripted, so excuse me for stuttering and all that stuff, this is just the way I talk. But this is just a show where I talk about whatever's going on in the video game industry that cannot make a single video, so I just lump a whole bunch of topics together. Today we're going to be talking about the Five Nights at Freddy teaser, Tears of the Kingdom success, and Capcom success, because there's a lot of great feel-good stories coming out of the video game industry right now. So I don't want to be negative all the time, so let's talk about some good stuff going on in the video game industry right now. So let's start with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie teaser. So everyone knows by this point that this movie was in production hell for quite a long time. And even we got a few movies out of the scrapped ideas, like the Banana Splits movie. Then there was that Nicolas Cage movie, Willy's Wonderland or something like that, which I also think might have been a scrapped Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I don't know, or maybe it's just a coincidence. But finally we are getting a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. A bit late, I would say, but at least it hopped on it a bit quicker than that Slender Man movie. The trailer teaser makes it look pretty interesting. Obviously, you can't tell much from just a teaser, but I think it's got me interested. I'll say that. Now, I wonder what the tone is going to be, and I wonder how much of the games it's going to have in there, because I'm assuming it's just going to be a retelling of the first game, because it's not like the games where there's always going to be some kind of mystery going around, like everyone knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is about at this point. So I don't know what it's going to do there. We're going to have to wait until October to see. We'll probably get some more trailers before then. But as we know, video game movies have been doing pretty well as of late. So it could be good, maybe not. We don't know. It's hard to tell. But I heard that Scott Cawthon is working. He was working alongside this a lot. And I think it's always a good idea when you have the creators behind it. So at least they can keep it on track and keep it, faithful. In the same way the Mario movie had Shigeru Miyamoto, always over Illumination's shoulder, making sure they do everything right, and that worked out really well. I think this will work out well too, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think of the teaser trailer. Next up, we have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom selling over 10 million worldwide in the first 3 days, becoming the fastest-selling game in the series, and one of the fastest-selling Nintendo games ever. So this actually matches Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's record of 10 million in 3 days, but I'd say it's way more impressive because it didn't need to sell two versions of the same game to do it. Like Scarlet and Violet, when they talk about the numbers, they're including both games together, whereas this is just a singular game. So I'd say this is way more impressive, and well deserved too, because not only does Tears of the Kingdom totally blow Scarlet and Violet out of the water, but most games do, unfortunately. And it just made me wonder while I'm playing it, I'm like, man, wouldn't it be great to have a Pokemon game like this? As obviously a huge fan of the Pokemon series, I know it has this kind of potential. It has the potential of a Zelda game, but the Pokemon company just won't let them do it. They won't let Game Freak do it. They won't give them the time. They won't give them the resources. They just won't let them cook, And it's because they rush them all the time. And yeah, we wait a long time for Zelda games, but they're always worth the wait. And I'd be more than willing to wait 5 to 6 years for a Pokemon game that is of this caliber. Especially now that they're charging $60 for them. And it really doesn't feel like they're deserving of it. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was $70, and I was a bit skeptical about that. But after seeing what the game has to offer, it's like, yeah, okay, this is deserving of $70. But let's hope this doesn't become a trend for other games. Like, there's been a lot of talk about other, video game developers saying they want to look at the $70 thing. It's like, no, a lot of those games are not worth $70. Heck, a lot of games these days aren't even worth $60. So it's really a, case-by-case scenario, but I do think Tears of the Kingdom does warrant the $70, whereas Pokemon Scarlet and Violet it's not even worth $60. So let's hope they don't go down that route, especially since they would be charging $70 for the same game, twice. But yeah, this is a great accomplishment for the Legend of Zelda series, the team, and Nintendo as a whole. And I wish, this is wishful thinking, but I wish Pokemon would would learn some lessons from this, but they won't. Because they can release an incredibly broken game like Scarlet and Violet and still sell 10 million in 3 days, so it doesn't matter. And finally, let's talk about Capcom. So they recently celebrated their 40th anniversary, and it was a pretty sweet birthday for them because they have done really well. I think that I've heard a report saying that they've sold more games in this fiscal year than any other in the company's history, which is great because they were struggling for a while. Everyone knows the Dark Ages when Keiji Inafune kept pushing for the whole appealing to the Westerners and all that stuff, making that DMC remake and that Bionic Commando remake, make everything all dark and edgy and all that stuff, and nobody liked it. But they've really pulled it together. They've gone from, as they say, Crapcom to Cap God, basically, with the Resident Evil remakes, and not even just the remakes, it's the new ones. Street Fighter 6 is set to come out in a few weeks. I'm really excited for that. And I've been doing a whole Capcom month on my gaming channel, if you want to check that out. And they've been doing great with Monster Hunter World and the most recent Devil May Cry. Like, they're just hit after hit after hit. They're doing really well. And I hope they continue to do this. I hope that this success doesn't go to their head and leads them to make terrible decisions, because that tends to happen a lot in the video game industry. So hopefully they can keep this momentum going. And because they have a lot of great franchises that some of which they haven't done anything with, and I hope they do. And some that I really want to keep going, like Street Fighter, for example. Is there any Capcom franchises that you would love to see Capcom do more of? I'm not necessarily thinking that they should do more with some of the series that they don't use, but, let's get some re-releases of some old stuff. Where's a re-release of some series that have not gotten love, like Rival Schools, or the Street Fighter EX series, or Power Stone, or all these other series that have been laying dormant? And if you don't want to make something new, fine, but can we at least get re-releases? Those have been doing really well for Capcom. They've been re-releasing a lot of that stuff, but there's still a lot of stuff that they seem to refuse to re-release for some reason. But anyway, what do you guys think of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom success, and Capcom's success? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.